want to transform your website into a customer or lead generation machine? I'll show you all my best tips, tactics, and secrets to get there fast. Let's dive in. Hey guys, Wes McDowell here for The Deep End, and if you're not already subscribed to this channel, go ahead and click the subscribe button and the little bell icon so you never miss a video you need to succeed online. Okay, so today we're going to be talking all about all the little things you can do to make your business rank higher in Google Maps. Now there's a lot to cover here, but basically before we get into the how, I'm going to talk about the why. So there's a few major benefits to ranking in that Google 3-pack in Maps, or sometimes known as the snack pack. So basically the first benefit is if people are searching for your category online, then you want to be found in those listings. Or let's say your business kind of relies on word of mouth. People talk about you, but before people are actually ever going to call you, they're going to Google you. And it's one thing to show up for your business name in the organic listings, but it looks even better if you show up in that right column also, showing your reviews and little snippets about your business, your hours, your phone number, all that good stuff. It just makes you look all the more credible. So those are all the benefits to showing up there. Now let's talk about the ranking factors, because there's several things, actually quite a few things, but I'm going to simplify it a bit and talk about the 4 main ranking factors that go into where your business shows up. And the first is probably the most important, and that's proximity. So meaning if you're a pizza restaurant and you're searching from a block away, you're likely to be found. If you're searching from 2 miles away, generally the restaurants closer to the searcher are going to show up first. There are ways to kind of get around that if you can build up your other factors to such a degree, but proximity is pretty much the number 1 factor right now. And the second is how closely the business category you assign yourself matches with the keywords your searcher's using. Next, we have just good old-fashioned organic SEO signals like links and good on-page signals on your website as well. And last but not least, we have citations, and we'll get to what exactly a citation is in a little bit, but you want good volume and you want good quality in your citations. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the 4 key areas that we're going to try to optimize in order to get your business to the top of the Google Maps. And the first one is really going to be perfect Google My Business optimization. And if you've not seen my last video all about how to properly set up your Google My Business listing, you are definitely going to want to click right up here to access that video. That's kind of required viewing before you even get to this. So go back and watch that if you haven't already. The next area is getting good quality and a good volume of citations. And the third is solid on-page content for your website. And we're going to finish it up with building quality links to your website. So good old-fashioned SEO. So now we're going to talk a little more in depth about each of the key areas, starting with the perfect Google My Business optimization. So I assume by now you've watched that first video, but right now there's a few extra things, a few above and beyond measures that I want to show you to really round that out. Okay, so then once you've finished with the overall setup from the last video, you're going to want to come back to your Google My Business dashboard, so you'll just log in. So what you're going to do then is just down the right sidebar, you're going to go down to Info. So then I want you to pay attention to the category name that you've given yourself. So in this case, for an old client of mine, it's car rental agency. But there are so many categories available to you that you don't want to just limit yourself to only one, because there's probably more than one that will actually fit what you do. So in this case, what I'm going to do is go ahead and click there, and you can change the primary category, but what I'm actually going to do is add additional categories. So I'm just going to click that, and then I'm going to type in car service. So what I've already done is I've already done the research to find out what the other categories could be. So you can easily Google My Business categories, and you'll find a list of all of them, and it's pretty long. So just find the ones that most apply to you. I'd recommend using up to 5. And I'm going to go ahead and add one more here. So I'm pretty happy with all of these. So it's car rental agencies number 1, then we have car service and car leasing service. So I'm just going to click apply. And that way, now you've got all of your categories set up. So with that in mind, we're going to move on down here, and we're going to go down to the photos section. So in the last video, I had you, add photos as needed. The more, the better. And what I promised in that last video and what we're delivering on now is I'm going to show you kind of a pro tip for making these photos even more powerful. And that has to do with geotagging your photos, which sounds very complicated, but it's not. It's basically adding a bit of code to every photo that puts it in a very specific place. So what Google can do then with that place is it really adds an extra dimension of, okay, this is a car service and this is exactly where it's located, which makes you show up a bit more prominently in those map listings when you do it right. Okay, so the easy way to do this is just go to this address here, goimgr.com, and you've got a map and you've got a place to drag photos. So I'm just going to go ahead and drag a photo from my desktop right in here, and it's uploading it, and it says no geotags found, so that's to be expected. But now what we're going to do is we're going to try to link it up to their address. So I'm just going to type in the name of the business, and it's popped up right here. So if your business is brand new, you may not be found here yet, and you may just have to type in the physical address, which is fine. So I'm just going to go ahead and click that. And now it's got the little map pin, putting it in the right place. It's got the latitude, longitude. Don't worry about that. Go down here, and in image description, I'm just going to type in car rental service, Los Angeles. Just using the keywords and the city you want to be found in. And then you're going to click the right EXIF tags. So what that's doing is it's adding those tags to it. Then you just click download, and you download that image, and so you download that image, and then you're going to go back to photos, and you're going to add it right here, just upload it, and it's got all the info on it that you need. All right, and to finish out the perfect optimization of your Google My Business profile, you want plenty of reviews, at least five-star reviews, and then I do have a video about that as well, so if you have not watched that, you can click right up here to watch it. But let's get right on with it and talk about citations. So a citation is basically any mention of your business anywhere on the internet. Doesn't have to have a link, but it's basically usually consists of what they call the NAP: name, address, and phone number. And the thing about the NAP that's so frustrating, I guess, is that it has to be super consistent across everywhere it's seen online. The more consistency you have, the better. And when I talk consistency, I mean something as simple as spelling out the word road versus the abbreviation RD, or the California abbreviation versus spelling California all out. So it really has to be as consistent across every website as possible. Okay, so when we're talking about getting these citations for your site, the first thing you need to do is make sure that you don't have any bad citations out there. So what you want to start with is a citation audit. So you're going to go to moz.com/local/search. It'll bring you to this page, so just type in your business name, and it should pop up here. If not, because you're a new business, you likely don't have any citations yet anyway, so this step may be irrelevant for you. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and click that, and what it's doing is it's finding all the citations out there, and it's giving you a score. So for this one, we've got a 50% score. And this is a free tool, by the way, at least to look at all this stuff. So basically what we're seeing is 50% complete profiles. And here we're getting a lot of little messages saying that there are a lot of places like super pages or localese or factual. These are major places to have citations, and it's saying either it's missing or they're just unable to find those. So anytime you see anything like this, you're going to want to go to those sources and actually make sure you have a citation there and build one. But we've got 3 here that are pretty decent, but they have room for improvement. So it'll kind of tell you what to do. And then let's go back up here to incomplete, and it'll show us, so it looks like we've got on Facebook, it's incomplete. We're missing 2 photos. We should add 2 more photos. This one is for insider pages. missing a photo, and we should add another category. So it's pretty good at telling you exactly what you need to do. So then it's just up to you to kind of go to those sources and update the information. And then we've got 3% of the listings are inconsistent. So missing a phone number, missing a website, same here. Here looks like the address may be listed out in a different way. Looks like I'm looking at, everywhere else is 550 Topanga Canyon Boulevard. This is starting with the suite number, which is an inconsistency. And this is also spells out California versus everywhere else we have the standard CA abbreviation. So you can really see how important this consistency really is to the process. And it looks like we have no duplicates. We're getting a thumbs up here, so that is good. So once you've fixed any of those inconsistencies and added all the right profiles to the right places that were suggested to you, then you're going to want to find new citation opportunities. And what I recommend doing is going to whitespark.ca/best citations by category /US if you happen to be in the United States. And what this is going to do is it's going to tell you by business category all the places that you should be having citations on the web. So for accountants, for advertising, for agricultural services, and obviously it goes all the way down and it just lists out for you all the best places to be listed. Some of them are going to be kind of generic for almost all businesses, and some are going to be specific, like for apartments. Zillow, which is a real estate, comes up. Trulia, a real estate, comes up. So, a lot of them are specifically tailored for your industry. The next thing you're going to want to do is the same thing, but the best citations by city. So here, it's the same website. You're doing whitespark.ca/best citations by city /US. Again, if you're here. So one thing to note here, it's going to be a lot of the same places. Yelp will probably come up for most of them. Yellow Pages will always come up. But look at this example. So this one's for Boston. So then we get, boston.cityvoter.com. So that happens to be a local citation opportunity for you. So go to your city and see if there's any overlap and see what ones are specifically for your city, because it really helps to not only have citations in your industry, but in your local area. That helps tie you to your locality, which will help you rank in those maps. Okay, so now that you've found all those opportunities for your industry and your city, you're going to want to really focus on the core structured citations that are out there. I'm talking about things like Facebook, Yelp, Yellow Pages, Super Pages, Factual, all the things that are, Axiom is a big one. A lot of these are going to be aggregators, and they're going to feed other websites that will basically pick up on those details and kind of spread them around to other smaller sites. So you really want to be found on those for sure. Okay, and the third thing I want to talk about is just good organic on-page content for your website. So all mentions of the city and your category and things that really line up with what you've put in your Google My Business profile. It just shows Google that you're not spamming them and you're really about what you say you're about. So you can put all these things on your homepage if you want to. Sometimes it can look spammy to someone coming to look at it. So what I usually recommend is in your footer somewhere, have a link where the text of the link just says business category in city, state. So might be accountant in Skokie, Illinois, for example. And then that link would point to the page that I'm going to show you right now. Okay, so I've just put together this mock page for a recent client of mine. So once you've linked to the page on your footer for the rest of the site, this is the kind of page that I definitely recommend that you have included on your site. Now, this is much more for Google than it is for any one of your customers. It's mostly so Google can get the right information. So basically, this is just a location page, and here's how I want you to structure it. It doesn't have to be exactly like this, but it should have all the information. So what we've got here is, this is called the H1 tag. The main header tag is going to be listed as the category and the city and state. So accountant in Skokie, Illinois. It's just going to have a little bit of basic information. I've got some bullet points here of remember when we put in those different additional categories in Google My Business? That is what we're putting here. So I have bookkeeping, Skokie, Illinois, certified public accountant, Skokie, Illinois, tax consultant, tax preparation. So you're basically just giving all these little indicators that coincide with what you've already set up in Google My Business. And then from there, we have the phone number and the address as listed exactly in your profile. Remember how important that NAP is, the name, address, phone number. And of course, I would definitely recommend going a step above and have your phone number and address included on every page of your website. But this particular page, we're going to have everything in it all at once. So we're going to have the phone number and the address. And coming down, now we have an embedded Google Map. So this is not meant to just be an image. This is going to be embedded, which is another key signal for Google to pull from. And below that, we have the hours of operation as listed in Google My Business. So we have every day of the week. So what we're really trying to do is word everything exactly the way they do in Google My Business. So that's why we list that every single day rather than say Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5. We're going to have every day because that's how they do it, and we want it to match very closely. And under that, we have a click here for driving directions, and that is going to be a hyperlink to a predefined map on Google Maps. Again, just another strong signal for Google to pull from. And then going back up here, what I've done is I've linked to every single one of the major citation sites or review sites. So you would link to your Facebook page, your YouTube page if you have that, Yelp, Foursquare, any of the other big ones that apply to your industry, link to those here as well. And right under that, we have proudly serving. Again, we're tying you to a specific location. So if you serve several different cities or neighborhoods, you're going to list those here, and you're going to link each one to the official website of that either city or neighborhood. So Chicago would be, the city of Chicago's official website, the city of Evanston's official website. And then last but not least, this one's actually pretty powerful, is if you make a YouTube video, and again, this is not necessarily, doesn't have to be seen by people. It's mostly just a signal to Google. So you can even go on Fiverr.com and pay as little as $5 or $10 to have someone actually just say whatever you want them to say in front of the camera if you're not comfortable doing it. But here's the thing, you need to name it, again, the category and the city and state, and then I would go even a step further and put in the address, and that's all the title of that video, and then just embed it right here. And because Google owns YouTube, it's very closely tied, and all of these things working together really work hard to cement you into your locality, which is going to help you show up on those maps. Okay, so once you have a page like that on your site, you're going to want to make sure that your entire site is mobile friendly. Over half of searches these days are done on mobile, especially with map related listings. So Google's really not going to show it not going to show any website that doesn't load quickly. So, and it's actually really easy to test. Just Google page speed insights, or I will include the link in the description below for where you can go. From there, you just put in your URL, and it will do all the hard work for you and give you a grade, basically. And it'll also come up with improvements that you can hand to your designer or developer that they can make to make it run even faster. Okay, so the last piece of work you have to do is to build quality links to your site. It used to be that getting shown in the map listings was completely separate from ranking in what we call the organic listings underneath. These days, it's a little more closely tied, so you're definitely still going to want some of those links. The good news is you will have gotten quite a few links from those citations that you built. But you're probably going to want even more. Now, you definitely have a choice when it comes to getting these links to your site. It is something you can do on your own, writing guest posts on blogs and then having them link back to your site. However, it's time consuming and maybe not the best use of your time. If it's something you want help with, we can certainly help you out. Just go to thedeependdesign.com/get-started. Okay guys, these have been my best tips for getting your business optimized to show up in the map listings. So you've heard from me, but now it's your turn. I want to know if there's any tips that maybe I've missed that you've used, or if there are any key takeaways that you learned today that you definitely plan on implementing on your own site. If so, please leave those in the comments below. I cannot wait to see what you have to say. And if you haven't subscribed by now, you're definitely going to want to click subscribe right in this circle logo right down here. Just click there. And you're also going to want to access my free mini course, How to Guarantee Website ROI. And you can get that by clicking this box right over here. All right, guys, I'm Wes McDowell for The Deep End, and I'll see you in the next video.
Don't grab my necklace. No. Mommy, what does he have in the open?
Improve this community will perform self-taxation. Marijuana is in the backbone and the footing of our locality.